The story begins with the death of a country's king due to unknown reasons. When he wakes up, he realizes that he has been reincarnated in a new world as a baby. His mother's name is Alice, a kind-hearted and gentle person, and his father is Reynolds, a dependable and charismatic man despite the occasional childishness. They named him Arthur, or Art for short. Despite being born into a loving family, he finds his new life as a baby very difficult. Art realizes that this new world is set in a much earlier time period. Art still has memories from his past life, so despite his young age, he still has the mental faculties of an adult. He quickly realizes that he must learn everything about his new world as knowledge is power. During one of his father's occasional bouts of childishness, he ends up getting injured when his father started tossing and turning him around. His mother is able to instantly heal him using magic, making Art realize that there is more to this new world than he initially thought. In his previous life, Art was a great king who led armies and fought warriors from all over the world. But in his new life, his proudest moment comes when he learns how to crawl. Using this new ability, he sneaks out of the room every night after his mother puts him to bed. He crawls to the library using his tiny body to research more about this world. He learns that the continent he was born in is comprised of 3 kingdoms. There is El Noir, the kingdom in the deep forest where elves live; Darv, the underground dwarf kingdom; and Safine, the human kingdom, and also the most populated one. Art discovers that this world also has a monarch system, but the kingship is passed down rather than earned like in his previous world. This world is also very undeveloped compared to his previous one, but this is due to magic. He is familiar with Ki, which was used in his previous world to strengthen one's body and weapons. This world has a similar force called mana. Unlike Ki, which was present inside a person's body, mana exists everywhere in the surroundings. Mana is also very rare, as only 1 in 100 people possess it. It can be used in many ways, but the 2 most common are augmenting and conjuring. Augmenting is used to enhance one's body to have greater strength, defense, and agility, but this limits the range of the user. Conjuring, on the other hand, is used to emit mana to the outside world. But to do so, a caster will have to gather mana from the surrounding along from within their core. Alice is from a class called Deviant. They are a rare type of mage who can use restorative mana. According to the books from the library, a child manifests their mana core around early adolescence to their late teens. Art realizes that this sounds strangely familiar to a Ki center. In his previous life, children were taught to form their Ki centers by meditating and gathering the scattered fragments around their bodies. Art realizes that he can do the same to form his mana core. But before he can get started, he is found by his mother, who has been looking for him since he sneaked out. It has been over a year since he was born into this new world. He has started walking. He is adored by his parents, especially his mother, who has begun writing down their everyday life in a journal. Ray has even started giving him private sword lessons, but he is quickly stopped by Alice. She has noticed Art's fascination with the Merchants Guild, so the doting mother takes him there every day to watch the adventurers perform magic. With Ray being his father, she is sure that her son will have an interest in becoming an adventurer himself. She can't help but worry and hopes that her son is better than every other enthusiastic teen who wants to be a famous adventurer. She has also noticed her son's habit of sneaking into the library every night. 2 years have passed now since Art first made his difficult journey to the library. He continues his journey to learn more about this world. He observes his father as he practices his magic. After chanting a spell for almost 3 minutes, the rocks around him begin floating. Art's curiosity grows as he wonders what kind of a spell it is. To his disappointment, flinging the rocks a small distance is all that his father manages to do. But that is to be expected, as Ray is an augmenter. They don't use flashy moves, but instead use their magic to enhance their physical strength. After watching his father practice, he tries to go back to the library. Despite his adult mind, he is still a child, as even the short distance between the chair and the floor seems to scare him. As he struggles to get down using his small body, Alice mistakes his efforts as him being sleepy. She tries to take him to his bedroom to put him down for a nap, but Art insists on going to the library. Despite Alice's refusal, he has learned how to get what he wants. Using his innocent, cute face, he begs his mother to take him to the library. Unable to resist the power of his cute face, she gives in and agrees to take him to the library. Despite the embarrassment, Art knows that a warrior must use every weapon in their arsenal. As he continues his study, Alice hears a loud noise from outside. She instantly knows it's one of Ray's antics. As she goes outside to check, Art once again starts his meditation to form a monocore. He has been doing this for the last 2 years in secret, slowly moving the tens of thousands of fragments throughout his body to form a single core. He now understands why it would take until adolescence to form the core naturally. Outside, Alice finds the source of the sound. It seems that Ray has knocked down another tree while practicing. Just as Art moves the final piece inside his body, the two parents see a huge blast inside their house. Ray instantly grabs Alice and uses his body to protect her from the blast. Fearing for the life of his son, Ray quickly dashes inside the wrecked house to look for Art. What he witnesses leaves him shocked. Instead of being injured, Art is perfectly fine while floating in the air in a meditative state. His parents realize that it can only mean one thing, that Art has finally manifested his manicore. Art couldn't be happier as his 2 years of hard work finally paid off, but it seems that he didn't realize all the damage he caused during his meditation. Another year goes by after he formed his monocore. While his mother teaches him how to read and write, Art has learned the basics of mana manipulation and augmentation from his father. Since his body was still too small for fighting, he only did basic strength training with Ray at first. Not too long after, his father decides to practice with Art using wooden swords. Ray's instructions are usually too abstract for a normal 4-year-old, but Art understands and executes them without much problem. Despite being only 4, he has become much stronger than Ray anticipated. Every day, Art meditates to increase his strength. In this world, one's strength is determined by the color of one's monocore. A monocore starts off black due to blood and other impurities. Over time, the core becomes purer, and thus the user gets stronger. The monocore has 7 colors. Black, which is the least pure, then red, orange, yellow, silver, and finally white, which is the purest. Each stage also has 3 shades that go from dark to solid and finally light. The lighter the shade, the purer the core. Art's meditation is once again interrupted as he is called for dinner by Alice. At the dinner table, Ray makes a suggestion. Seeing how fast Art is growing, he believes that it's time that they get Art a proper mentor. The discussion gets heated and they finally agree to let Art decide what he wants to do. He tells them that maybe they can all move to this city. This way he won't have to be alone. His parents burst out laughing as they realized that it was such an obvious solution. With everyone now in agreement, the family decides that they will move to Xyrus to find a mentor for Art. Alice and Ray quickly start preparing for their 3-week journey to Xyrus. They enlist the help of their old friends from an adventuring party called Twin Horns. With a goodnight kiss from his mother, he prepares to go to sleep as their journey starts in the morning. The Twin Horns have been in their town for a while. They were also the ones who helped rebuild the house after Art accidentally destroyed it. The party consists of 2 conjurers and 3 augmenters. Art is excited to finally move out of this small town and see the real world. In the morning, the family meets up with the adventuring party. They all make introductions with Art as they each pick him up and toss him around. Firstly, there's Adam Crinch, an augmenter who specializes in the spear. Next is a beautiful woman named Angela Rose. She is a conjurer who uses wind magic. Following her is the gentle giant of the group named Durden Walker. He is also a conjurer who specializes in earth magic. He gently puts Art down. Art gets the same vibe as a big gentle dog from him. Next is a mysterious pale-looking girl. From her looks, one would assume that she is an assassin. She is Jasmine Flamesworth, an augmenter who uses dual daggers. She is not the talkative one and keeps to herself. Finally, there is Helen Shard, an elf who uses magic archery. She is probably the nicest and most well-behaved in the group. Now that they have made their acquaintances, they start loading up their carriages in preparation to leave. They travel on 2 carriages being pulled by giant lizards. Their journey to Xyrus has finally begun. On their journey, they encounter monsters, which the party easily takes care of. The long journey really seems to be slowly wearing down Art. During the nighttime at the campfire, Helen tries to make small talk with him to cheer him up. She asks him if he really did have an awakening only a year ago. Adam, who is also bored, has been listening in on their conversation. Since Ray had been bragging about his son the entire journey, he decides to see for himself how strong Art really is. After getting Ray's approval, Adam grabs Art and goes to have a sparring session with him. With everyone watching, Art feels like he has no other choice but to fight. After using his magic to enhance himself, Art dashes forward toward Adam holding his wooden blade. This obviously doesn't work against the experienced adventurer who easily parries Art's sword using his spear, but Art doesn't give up and goes in for another attack. After dodging his attack, Adam tries to counter him, but Art uses his quick speed to dodge. He tries to tackle Adam, but because of his small body, it doesn't seem to have much impact. Once again, Adam counters him with a kick, but is unable to hit him. Adam decides to fight more seriously and uses his magic to send Art flying. Just before he can continue his attack, he is stopped by Durden, who slaps him on the head. Adam is impressed by Art, so much so that he believes there is no way he hasn't received any combat training. Even Ray is surprised to see him use moves that he didn't even teach him. Art tries to brush it off by saying that he learned it by reading it from books. Even the usually quiet Jasmine wants to learn his movement techniques. Art is now the mentor of the adventuring party instead of the other way around. Several days have passed since the group started their journey toward Osiris. They stopped at a lake to take a bath and relax. As their journey continues, the adventurers also continue their training, with Adam, Helen, and Ray making decent progress. Jasmine was even able to learn a few techniques from Art. After the short break, the group continues their journey once again. Art notices that his mother seems to be sick, but Alice assures him that she is fine. Art also finds himself being stalked by Jasmine. After helping her learn new techniques, she wants to continue their training. Their peaceful journey comes to an abrupt stop as they are suddenly attacked by bandits. The bandits shoot the carriage with arrows. Alice tries to protect Art by shielding him. Thankfully, Angela manages to protect everyone using her wind magic. She didn't manage to save everyone as Helen is struck in her leg with an arrow. However, she doesn't let it faze her as she breaks the arrow off and prepares to shoot back. The bandits had planned an ambush and the group finds themselves completely surrounded. Their leader orders the bandits to kill everyone except for the women and children as they plan to sell them for money. Art prepares to fight as well. As he is about to take out his knife, Alice notices her son's anger and quickly hugs him. She tells him it's fine as she is here for him, making him calm down. The bandits continue their relentless attack while the twin horns along with Ray try to fight them off while protecting the carriages. Angela once again protects Alice and Art from arrows using her wind magic. Ray goes on a rampage, taking out multiple bandits in quick succession. He is supported by Helen, who uses her archery skills to protect him. Jasmine and Adam also go on a killing spree using powerful attacks to take out many bandits. Jasmine finds her match when she comes across one robber using a long wipe. Art is observing her fight and quickly realizes her disadvantage against her opponent's range. Suddenly, Ray is sent flying into the carriage, completely wrecking it. It seems to be the leader of the bandit as he proved to be too strong for him. Art quickly tells his mother to heal Ray. Art realizes that there is something wrong with her as she tells him she can't. He wonders why she isn't healing him. Still, she uses some of her magic to use a minor healing spell on him. Ray tells Art that as soon as the spell is done healing him, he should run away with Alice. He refuses to run, telling Ray that he can fight with them, but he pats him on his head and tells him to protect his mother and their baby, revealing that Alice is pregnant. The couple was going to surprise Art with the news when they got to Osiris. With this revelation, he agrees to run away with Alice, promising that he will protect her. Ray tells Art to get ready and informs him that the bandits have 4 mages on their side. Seeing Alice's healing ability, the leader orders his men to not let her get away. As soon as the healing is done, Art quickly grabs Alice's hand and tries to run away. The bandits turn their attention to the duo to stop them. Adam tells them to escape while he holds them off. One of the bandits uses his bow to try and shoot them with an arrow. Art quickly senses the danger and turns around to stop it. He uses his wooden sword to stop the arrow. Though the sword fails to stop the arrow and breaks, it manages to change the arrow's direction toward the ground, so no one gets injured. The bandit is shocked by Art. The momentary carelessness is all it takes for Helen to shoot the bandit with her own arrow, killing him. As the two continue to try and escape, Art realizes that something is off. Ray told him that the bandits have 4 mages, but when he counts them, he only sees 3. The leader suddenly shouts an order to someone to kill the pair so they don't escape. It's the 4th mage. He uses water magic to form a big swirling water bubble and throws it at the pair. Art knows that even if he dodges it, his mother will get hit. Seeing only one way to protect her, he pushes her out of the way. He gets hit by the water magic and is pushed off of the cliff. Wanting to take the mage out with him, he throws his knife at the mage with a string attached to it. The mage tries to hold on to the edge of the cliff, but it breaks off, sending the two plummeting down. As they fall, Durden tries to use his earth magic to save them. He makes a giant hand using magic and tries to grab them,